So one of the most common questions as a YouTuber is, was the Scat Pack worth it?
The short answer is I absolutely love this 392 Scat Pack. It's probably one of the best bangs for the bucks. If you're going to be looking for a little bit of performance, 500 horsepower, or to be more technical, 485 horsepower is so much fun for street driving, daily use, and occasionally stepping on the gas for those acceleration ramps. Today, I'm going to be giving you guys 5 reasons why I love having the 392 under the hood. And this applies to anybody with a Scat Pack, a TA, Daytona, and even a 392 SRT. The first one is obviously exhaust. So whether you're just doing a cold start, ripping through tunnels, or even just driving slow, it all just is a symphony in the back of your car. I absolutely love it. It's one of the most enjoyable parts about even driving. Just going to the grocery store is a blast. So put the thing in sport mode and listen to the symphony behind you. Now, number 2 is what comes stock underneath the hood. You have the SRT 392. 485 horsepower may not seem like that much, but I believe that Dodge has underrated the 392 because if you jumped up on a dyno, so now just shift to 6th gear. When you're in 6th, let me know, and then I'm gonna hit the green button. Okay, you ready? Go. So that's him right there, 437. You should be in the ballpark of about 420 to 430, depending on the dyno, the correction factors. And if you went to the drag strip with some kind of drag radial setup and a little bit of weight reduction, you should be hovering in the low 12s, if not even cracking into the 11s, which is really impressive for a vehicle that weighs this much. We got 2 392s here. Flat, 115 mile an hour, and the other Scat was 11.7. Pretty good. Now that kind of leads me into number 3, which is if you have a 392, you should feel like you got pretty much the best bang for the buck. You're getting a lot of horsepower performance for the amount of money that you ended up spending. Scared you? Got it on video. Now the number 4 thing is modifying a 392. You have to find yourself a really good tuner that's going to make sure that all the pieces that you put in place are actually working properly. The 2 routes that I see most people having wonderful success with the 392 is a recam with ported heads, potentially long tube headers, and you're hovering in the neighborhood of about 500 wheel horsepower. If you go to the drag strip, you should be in the neighborhood of high 10s with just that kind of power level. The other thing is adding boost, and a lot of people kind of stay away from this. There's a ton of videos out there saying do not boost your 392. Well, let me tell you, if you go ahead and do it, you can walk away with some really nice results. 6-7 pounds of boost on a Pro Charger or some kind of a positive displacement blower should put you in that Hellcat territory. But I cannot stress enough, find the right tuner to make it work. So no other part is really needed. You'll just upgrade your fueling, and whatever the kit that you end up buying for that supercharger, you should be walking away with around 600 to 620 wheel horsepower, which would put you in Hellcat territory, and you're doing Hellcat power with half the boost. For those of you guys that don't know, a Hellcat is making around 640 wheel horsepower on 12 pounds of boost, approximately. So you would be in that neighborhood with 6 or 7 pounds of boost, which is impressive because it does have a much larger displacement and it also has a higher compression ratio. Now the last one is going to be something that you guys make fun of, but we all think about it, and that's MPG. The flexibility of this thing being a daily driver. I've actually laid off the gas. I know it's super hard because it does sound so awesome in sport mode and you're kind of downshifting and but I did lay off it. And I'll tell you, I averaged around 18 to 20 miles per gallon around city and on a little bit on the highway. And I think that's extremely impressive for pretty much the biggest V8 you could get on the market. So having a little bit of that flexibility where, if you're really, kind of not looking forward to going to the gas station every week or every other week, you can kind of lay off the gas and get some pretty decent gas mileage out of this thing. I still have a 4-cylinder knockoff or deactivation. So there are times where I'm rolling around with 4 cylinders on this thing, and at least the flexibility is there. If you don't like it, you shut it off and you drive like a beast. But the point is at least it's an option. So guys, let me know what you think in the comments below. I'll tell you, a lot of people dog the 392, and you see a lot of other guys in other trim levels that just say go for that Hellcat. Me personally, I've actually loved my experience so far with the 392. Every time I go out for a drive, I think it's just so fun. If you're on the market for a Scat Pack, a 392, 5.7,